Good day, guys. I am so excited for this year. As you can tell, today is our 2 year anniversary of our Manny podcast. This was this was just an idea 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic where I didn't want to stop being productive. I wanted to get involved. And as many of you have been wondering, where the heck have I been? You can't tell by the beanie I've been wearing. I am currently at Cal State University, Long Beach, or better known as Long Beach State University, right up the 405. Uh, so yeah, I've been going there for this past semester, studying, continuing my pursuing my career in journalism. I've been part of the paper, or I am part of the paper, and I'm currently, just living the moment and building my networks. And today I am really excited for this guest. Although I didn't grow up watching them, but a lot of folks did. I still have a big inspiration. So our first guest for season 2 is a second all-time quarterback with a lot for the San Diego Chargers. I was gonna say Los Angeles because the whole move, but actually San Diego Chargers. Um, he's from San Francisco. He went to the University of Oregon in Eugene. Played 15 seasons with the San Diego Chargers. Please welcome Dan Fouts.
Thank you, Manny. Great to be with you.
I see you're rocking Oregon with you still. Your alma mater.
Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow's our big game against the Oregon State Beavers, and you got to wear the colors. Like you're wearing that Long Beach hat. I got to wear my O.
That's awesome. Dan, I mean, obviously the older audience and the people that know who you are want to know what you're up to today. What is Dan doing right now? Or where is he right now?
Well, we live in Sisters, Oregon, and I just got through doing the dishes from yesterday's Thanksgiving feast. So that kept me busy this morning, and we're just enjoying a very late fall right now. The weather is pretty good before it turns to rain and snow here shortly, but things are good. Thank you.
That's wonderful to hear. I came down last night. Well, not last night. More like early in the morning because I left kind of midnight from Long Beach. So basically, I got here yesterday, super early in the morning, and I was telling my folks, it feels doesn't feel like when I come down here, I live here. It feels like I'm another guest because
Uh,
I'm so used to going to my dorm, sleeping. Like I had a system going over there.
yeah. It's good to have a system, and good to be comfortable and familiar.
So Dan, I just want to confirm from the source himself. You were CBS analyst, correct?
Yeah, I worked for CBS for about 18 years. I also worked for ABC for 11 years. So I had a nice career there. Would still like to be involved some way, but things happen that are out of your control sometimes.
So you're not retired, is what I'm hearing. Or it's not. If the offer were to happen,
You
most
know,
likely
you know,
take it.
I was hoping that you would offer me a job so I could be your sidekick. Would that work for
That
you?
that'd be awesome. I mean, let's see what the people say.
What's the bank say? We can't be doing this for free, can we?
Now we can't. You know what? First, we got to build up our revenue.
There you go. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. So Dan, I mean, obviously, there's a lot to ask here today, but I want to know. I mean, you spent 15 years with the Chargers, your whole career. You obviously had to go through some ups and downs, but what were some of the highlights for you in your career?
Well, yeah, anybody that has a career that spans that many years, you're going to have some serious ups and downs. And most of my downs came early, which was not easy. But once Don Coryell came to San Diego, that's when the ups happened for me. And for me to pick out one highlight from those Coryell years would be difficult because we had a lot of very exciting games and a lot of big wins. But I think if I were to just narrow it down to one highlight, it would be the day he was hired, because when he was hired, that turned my career around.
You threw to Kellen Winslow, right?
I threw to a lot of great ones, and Kellen was probably the greatest tight end of all time, because when you think about how he kind of changed the position, and you're seeing tight ends today that do a lot of the things that he did, and nobody was doing it before Kellen, he should get a lot of credit. Of course, he's a Hall of Famer, which he should be, but I think that a lot of people, as time goes on, people's memories aren't as strong as they used to be, and a lot of people hadn't seen Kellen play unless it's on the YouTube or some of the highlights. So he was definitely a great one, and I was lucky enough to play with, Charlie Joyner, another Hall of Famer, Wes Chandler, and John Jefferson, who those two could have been in the Hall of Fame if it weren't for injuries in certain circumstances.
That is correct. I mean, it's not funny. It's unique, interesting. I don't know the right word to describe it. That one of our Charger quarterbacks came from Eugene, Oregon, plays for the Chargers. You probably think you know where I'm going with this. Years
Yeah.
later, we get another quarterback from Eugene, Oregon. Now, following the fitting in the shoes of all these past greats that we had in our shoe, is there any communication or advice you have with Herberts? I came from Oregon, or inside jokes you guys share?
I get to do the Charger preseason games, so I get to spend time each training camp with the Chargers, and of course, I'm always interested in talking to Justin. He's such a good kid. He's such a talented player, and he's so willing to listen to advice, and not only listen to it but act on it. And so I find that very rewarding, because we can talk about the position, we can talk about the ins and outs, the nuances, the little things that the subtle things that go into playing a quarterback that you can't get from anybody else that hasn't played the position. So the big key for Justin and myself is that we can communicate in quarterback language, if you know what I mean, Manny.
I mean, I'm not a quarterback, but I have a feeling that you know what it might look like.
Yeah.
I'm just a reporter. All right. So there's this new series I'm adding to this podcast this season. It is, well, obviously because we're in the week of giving. Thanksgiving just happened. What is Dan Fouts' three must have in his Thanksgiving plate?
Wow. Well, that's a good question, because I want a really big plate, Manny, so I can fit all the things I'm thankful for. Well, my wife, Jeri, is a Long Beach native. She went to Millikan High School, and she went to Long Beach City College before going up to Santa Barbara at UC Santa Barbara. So I've spent a lot of time in Long Beach, and really enjoy everything about that fine city. And I even like the name of your football team, and the 49ers, because I grew up in San Francisco, where there's another team called the 49ers, and I was a big fan of theirs.
Well, unfortunately, since 1960 something, we no longer have the 49ers with us.
Well, you have 49ers and dirtbags, though, don't you?
They got the Dirtbags. There was a bit of a change, like earlier, about changing the name.
Yeah.
Because so the athletic departments, they go as the beach,
Oh, that's cool.
but the baseball is still considered till this day called the Dirtbags, which is honestly, it's pretty interesting name, pretty unique. So did you go over your three main courses?
My three main courses. Well, I guess I can throw my children on there on that plate, and the fact that I had a couple of good careers that go on the plate, I got to be thankful for that. And ended it with a little pumpkin pie with whipped cream on it.
Nice. For me, it's a lot. The first thing I say it's support I get from friends and family. The second thing was the transition from community college to Long Beach State. And it was a weird, hard transition. Be like, do I want to go away or do I not want to go away? And I'm glad I made that decision. Get to meet newer people from that area, get to explore. You were mentioning looking high in Long Beach City Community College, and I literally pass by there almost every other day. So
Mhm.
it's familiar. If you were to ask me 2 months ago, where, what school? But I'm coming a local now. You can call it.
There you go. Well, you've had a good career at such a young age.
I uh, I'm happy now. Hopefully, I can continue on. Um, let's see. So obviously, since you played and the game is going on right now, there has been a lot of changes in rules. Protecting the players, trying to help them with trying to stay healthy. Some people call these rules ridiculous. The game's becoming soft. What is your intake on that?
Well, they have to protect the players because the players are what people come to see play, and especially the quarterbacks. Uh, that is one rule that I think has been very important because it's kept a lot of older quarterbacks in the game longer. Uh, there are, a lot of controversial calls uh, by the officials, but the officials are always instructed to err on the side of safety, and so that's what they have to do. That's their job, and if you don't like it, that's tough because it's important that the league knows that they have to protect the players because it's difficult. It's a very violent game, as you know, Manny. I mean, it's contact, full contact, and big, strong guys running at tremendous speed and strength, and it's a lot of very explosive plays, and things happen in split seconds that the officials have to make those judgments.
I mean, it's first. I mean, we've seen it happen to one quarterback, particularly this season, and then another one that I mean
Mm-hmm.
played it. I think he's still hurt, playing, being hurt. Justin Herbert's I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's fully healed, but it's just interesting how some of these quarterbacks uh play. I mean, you see Josh Allen, the way he plays, Mahomes, the way he plays. We're seeing a more not more variety into these quarterbacks.
that's a good way of putting it.
Because
Really
I
good
was looking at
athlete.
some stats. I think Herbert's already is already past you in rushing.
That didn't take much. Come on, Manny.
Because because back then quarterbacks weren't. I guess the stigma was we don't rush, we just throw.
Well, the thing is that the passing game is designed a certain way. The offensive linemen try to protect the pocket, and what you have today is you've got very mobile quarterbacks, great athletes that are not afraid to run. Number one, and then have the ability to run and make people miss and make good decisions. So it's a more wide open game because of that, and it's very entertaining.
What would not change, but what would you tell young Fouts if you had a chance earlier in the year or when you were young?
What would I tell them?
Yeah, what would you tell
You
young
know,
Dan Fouts coming straight from Eugene?
I'd probably tell them to work a little bit harder. Uh, pay better attention to the coaching that you're getting, and the thing about being a young player is you don't have the experience to draw upon. So what you have to do is get as much practice time in as possible because that gives you that type of experience that you can take to the game, and then just compete like hell because somebody wants that job. In fact, there's probably 20 guys that want your job, and you've got to protect that job by being a competitor and being ready to play when you're given the opportunity.
All right. So, I mean, last season I had I let the guests open up and ask me questions. What do they want to know about Manny? So if you got any questions, shoot away.
Well, what are your goals, Manny?
Well, okay, it's a little story time. So when I was younger, I not had no clue what I wanted to do. It wasn't until I was 13 I realized, okay, I can't participate in sports, so I want to do something around it. I didn't even have the correct career. I said sports comedian because that's the first thing I ever seen someone do sports. I didn't even know what silent reporting was. Not till I got to like currently right now. I started the podcast and either I want to be a play analyst or be a sports team or NFL insider.
Yeah,
Hopefully when Schechter retires, I'm the one that steps in.
that'd be a good goal for you. And I
And then
think you're
just
on the right path with this podcast because you're getting a lot of experience and you're getting to meet a lot of people this way. It's very important.
that's one thing I learned about this world. If you want to get somewhere, you gotta start networking.
That's right.
And
It's
that's what
sometimes
I've learned.
who you know as much as what you know, right?
Oh yeah, it really is. And another story time. I don't have it with me, but I saw that you signed the book that my buddy Jay wrote. And when
Yeah.
I opened it, I'm like, God, he knows who I am. And that
Everybody
was
knows.
pretty interesting. And I really appreciate you taking your time and writing it. So
It was my pleasure. And Jay Paris is a good man.
he's a great man. That's another reason why I say networking. That's how we got connected and so on and so forth. Let's end this off with one last final message to anyone who wants to get, whether to the position you are or any advice to anyone or messages.
Well, you are hitting me with some really heavy questions, Manny. I appreciate that. And as I stall and try to think of a good answer, again, it comes back to what we were just talking about is preparation. And how do you prepare? Well, you prepare by studying. You prepare by networking, like you do. You prepare by investigating and going on and figuring out things and trial and error, all those type of things. Gaining experience really is the most important thing for you. And I think that if you do that and you're a good, honest person, which you appear to be, Manny, I think everybody's going to be in good shape there if they follow your example.
I try. I try. I can tell you that.
I know you tried. I appreciate it.
So
Thanks.
I mean, where can we is there anywhere we can find more about you? I mean, what is Dan Fouts' next move?
My, my next move,
So
honestly,
where can we know or keep up with you? I
well,
don't know.
you can follow me to the golf course because that's where I'm headed right now, Manny.
That is
And
awesome.
yeah. And you know what? I also do a little post game shows for CBS2. We'll be on the air this Sunday after the Chargers and the Cardinal game, and maybe a couple more of those opportunities down the road.
Well, thank you so much, Dan, for doing this with us. I hope whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify, you hit the follow button, subscribe. This is Manny, and like I always say, if anyone can, Manny can.